What are some of the best lessons that you've learned over the past 10 years working with family?
Well, I think the boundary is a big one. And that's whether like your work life boundary of not bringing it to the dinner table. But I also have a pretty hard 5 o'clock ish stop time because that's when I go home and I'm with my kids. And I think it's important to be present for them. And I understand not everybody can do that, but I think trying to do that's important. Something else I have learned is sometimes you have to take the time to see it through their perspective. And we think, this is the only perspective and we're right. But then when we take time and kind of learn more about it, we can now see maybe why they decided something that we thought was totally wrong. I sometimes joke about that. Sometimes you have to make your family members think that they had the idea. And that's how you convince them to do different new things. If you just start kind of feeding them a little micro doses, and then eventually they accept it. And sometimes that's easier than coming in full force and saying, hey, we're changing this, this, and this. Somebody just did it to me as like the business we own. That's my dad's baby, right? He started that from scratch, and understanding and respecting that is kind of a big deal. And I never really thought of it that way until somebody actually mentioned it to me. And I was like, that makes sense. That's why sometimes I feel like our family members have a close hold on things because it's so, in tune to them. That's all they know.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat. And I also think like another valid point is like sometimes I'll give my dad really like minute tasks to do, but I know that it's going to take him a long time to do. And it sounds mean, but it's like, it gets to the point where like after a while, I've been in the business for, 10 years now. And it's like, I hate saying the word, like they're not needed as much, but like there's less and less because ultimately that's how I feel fulfilled with my life is knowing that my dad and mom can have more free time to go to their cabin. They have more free time to go on vacations. They can go and do stuff with them. Dad, you don't need to be here every day. And he's not now, which is good. So when he is there, what I found is like there's some tasks like today, we're actually at a conference. And, I said, I have to bounce out for a bunch of meetings today, Dad. But like your task today and tomorrow is just like mingle with the people because it's a lot of older contractors and engineers. And like his role will never be replaced of being able to be like, oh, hey, Ann from, engineering. What's going on? I haven't seen you in a long time. Like those little tasks are so important. But I found that really making, sure, like, hey, this is what you have to do. It kind of keeps them out of the hair, but also he's helping the business in the long run. Because like you said, it's their baby and it's hard for them to just kind of say, hey, whoa, I don't want to do this anymore.